Secret number 2 is all about the 3 things you must say before every presentation, ensuring every prospect will buy from you. And it's all about building your credibility. And this step only becomes important if you want to close the deal and do business. And I am assuming that you want to do that. So don't miss this step out. Now this is step 2 in the 7 steps to the S system. So step 1, we've already learnt about building empathy with our prospects. So we're getting on really well with them now. So now we're going to move forward and build our credibility. This is where you'll learn how to convince your prospect about your personal integrity and how to convince your prospect about your company's ability to deliver and how to convince your prospect that your product actually does work. Why is it so important to establish your credibility? Well, you want to close a deal and do business. So would you buy from somebody you didn't trust? Would you deal with a company you didn't know? And would you use an unproven product or service? I doubt it very much. So how do we get over our credibility? Well, this is where you use your credibility statement. You can say the same thing almost every time, so it can be learnt in advance. You don't have to make it up on the day. This is something that would be embedded into your psyche, your credibility statement. Now there are 3 parts to an effective credibility statement. Your personal credibility, all about yourself, your company credibility, and your product or service credibility. Now your personal credibility, this is a short statement of your experience and relevant credentials. Your company credibility is a short history and profile of your business with its credentials. And your product or service credibility shows your product or service is successful and works. So let's take a look at your personal credibility statement. This is an example, say for a manufacturing business. You could say something like, let's start with a little bit more about me. I have been in widgets for 12 years now, working in all aspects from the shop floor to sales. Or for a service business, you could say something like, I have been in the security industry now for 15 years, first with the police, then with the customs and excise, specialising in corporate fraud. Or perhaps for a professional business, I have been in management consultancy now for 8 years, before I started in XYZ services, which could be linked to your prospects industry, that's always a good trick, whilst taking a degree in marketing followed by an MBA. And now we can look at some examples for company credibility. Again, for a manufacturing business, we could say Widget & Sons have been in business for 38 years and hold a number of awards for industry and service to the industry. So now let's take a look at some company credibility statements. An example would be for a manufacturing business, Widget & Sons have been in business for 38 years now and hold a number of awards for industry and services to the industry. Another example for a service business, Bill Blogs Limited have been providing security services for 5 years. However, before that the team had over 70 combined years of experience of providing security via other companies and special police and customs units. We are also members of the XYZ Security Association who approve and verify all our work. For a professional business we could say XYZ provides proven services to small and large businesses, working with companies from start-up to, unfortunately, the grave. We have been doing this for over 9 years with clients with a turnover of just over 25k to $80 million, say. And then moving on to the last credibility statement, which is all about your product or your service. And an example here for a manufacturing business could be, we produce 27 product ranges in plastic and metal to the highest specification, verified by BS Standard 1234. However, today I'm going to talk about our 123 range of widgets, which could increase the profitability of your company significantly. However, I have no idea at this stage, so I need to find out a little bit more, and obviously we're going to try and find out a little bit more about their business and how we can fit our product into their needs. Second example for a service business is we provide a full range of security services from alarm systems to personal and investigation. However, I'm here today to talk about our Night Watchman service, which will increase the security of your business dramatically. But may I ask you a few questions before telling you more about it? And then in the third example, for a professional business, we specialize in strategic planning, sales and marketing, and management information systems. However, today I'm here to talk about our strategic planning program. We have a system which I believe will dramatically increase the success of your company in achieving its goals. But before I can tell you about it, may I ask you a few questions? Now, it's incredibly important that your personal credibility statement must be unique to yourself. It's all about you. People buy from people, so they really want it to be from you. Your company and product or service statement should be the same or similar for all members of your business, so you should all be singing off the same song sheet. We don't want one sales guy saying one thing and one salesperson saying another thing. And your three statements must flow smoothly from one to the other without a pause. Each statement should not be more than 20 seconds to a minute, and your whole credibility statement between 1 minute and 3 minutes maximum. We don't want to spend too long on this. Short, sharp and sweet is the answer. Very clear with your statements, and then we can move on. Remember, prepare your three statements in advance, commit them to memory and say them confidently and with belief. And do not get interrupted or drawn into long conversations at this stage, because it's all about making your prospect feel confident in you, your company and your product. So really, once we've given our credibility statements, we need to move on quickly. In that way, that means that you're in control of the meeting, you're in control of the structure of the meeting, and you can stop any immediate objections straight away. Practice them until you're fluent and believable. Over to you now. What I'd like you to do is spend 20 or 30 minutes writing your personal credibility statement, your company's credibility statement, and your product or service credibility statement. Once they're written, practice them until you are fluent and totally believable. And why not practice them in front of other people and get their feedback? Far better to get some feedback from people you know rather than getting poor feedback from a prospect.